So in the first video, we looked at Andrew's relationship with his father and how those childhood wounds could have influenced him in the way he's lived his life. Interestingly enough, he also has a sister, so we're going to look at that in this video. So Andrew Tate has a sister who is a lawyer. She's also intelligent, and she and Andrew Tate don't talk. Andrew Tate probably doesn't like that his sister is a feminist, and she's probably very embarrassed by him. She feels betrayed by their dad. She thinks it was wrong that he was cheating on their mom. I've seen videos where Andrew Tate is talking about how women can't do anything and they can't drive, and he's putting women down. And part of me wonders, is this his own self-projection? His sister was a lawyer. He has evidence that women are very capable, and yet he couldn't succeed in the academic and professional realm. It's not that there isn't competent women. It's more likely that he's saying, I need a woman who isn't more competent than I am, because then it'll trigger my feelings of insecurity and worthlessness that were instilled in me as a child by my father. Because if he has a woman who isn't going to trigger that vulnerable side of him, then he doesn't have to feel those feelings. I'm worthless. And like we talked in the last video, if you don't have that sense of security that you have intrinsic value as a human being that has been modeled to you by your caregivers, by giving you attention and love just because, not for any reason, then your identity can be strongly tied to external achievements. So a successful woman would threaten that external validation. It can threaten his prowess, his ability to feel good about himself. So we can interpret him saying, women are incompetent, to mean that I don't want a woman unless I feel more competent than she is. Naturally, his behavior and what he says is going to drive away the women who are very competent, who are very secure in themselves, who have healed their childhood wounds, or who had a healthy upbringing to begin with. So Andrew has very little insight into himself, into the machinations of his mind, and we can see how he emulated his father, who was highly narcissistic. He chose that route instead of doing his own healing, and then he grew up to be an adult who abused women. It can be very disturbing and triggering when we take what people say at face value, when in essence, Andrew might have just been trying to trigger people to get attention from them. And that bit of attention, it soothes the wounded ego, it soothes that wounded child that he's shoving down and saying, no, I don't want to listen to you. Let's avoid actually listening to that inner pain and processing it in a healthy manner at all costs. In the next video, I'm going to talk more about how Andrew continues to follow in his father's footsteps.